Good morning, everybody. Today is January 4th, 2017, core team meeting from 11 to 12 Central Standard Time. My name is Julian Guerrero, Project Director for the TEDNA NYCP 2015 project, and I'd like to welcome everybody this morning. The time is 11:11 in the morning, and we'll go ahead and get started here. So before we go ahead and move forward with our agenda, I'd like everybody to just go around the room and do a roll call. If you could once again say your first and last name and what entity you represent.
Gloria Sly, TEDNA Board, Executive Board.
Quinn Romanos, Director for TEDNA.
Bernadette Anderson, Academic Development Institute.
Norma Bixby, Northern Cheyenne Tribe.
Shane Doyle, Northern Cheyenne Assistant.
Michael Pavel, 200 Culture and Research Institute.
Sydney Wakini, TEDNA NYCP Resource Coordinator.
And Matt Campbell said that his audio isn't working, so he's reconnecting with us. Anybody else? Okay, hearing none. Good morning. Looking at today's agenda, mentioned a little bit earlier that it's going to be pretty brief. Just want to go over some logistics and get everybody on the same page in terms of what to expect for the 19th and 20th. Then I'll open it up to questions and then notify for the next invoice submission deadline. And then we'll go ahead and go down to our fourth section where we talk with any and all core members present who would like to engage in some commentary for us. So before we do that, we have Quentin Romanos with us, and I'd like to open the floor to him for any executive director updates or commentary. Mr. Romanos?
Thank you. Happy New Year, and I think we got an exciting year coming up. I think we're, with the first year under our belt, I think we actually have a lot clearer understanding of the direction we're moving, what we're dealing with. So I'm hoping to see everybody in a couple of weeks. So I'll close with that.
All right. Thank you for that. As for my updates, if you could, there's a few things. I'm going to go back and forth. If you're not joining us from the computer and you're not able to see my screen share, you could always refer to the recording of this video, which will be posted to our TEDNA website. If you just go to the tedna.org, it'll take you to the home page. Just hover on above the About tab, then hover above the Native Youth Community Project tab, and you want to click on Meetings. And from that, you could... Oh, I just read a message that Courtney's having some audio issues. Let me pause really quick and see. Is anybody else experiencing some audio issues? You can share that in the chat box. I'm also keeping a tab on the chat box to make sure.
This is Matt. I lost all audio, and when I called back in, got it back. So.
Oh, okay. If you could ask her just to call back in and see if that fixes it. All right. All right. So back to where we were, looking at the Meetings tab. We have all the recordings for, looks like, and these add up pretty fast, surprisingly, even though we do them every 2 weeks. 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5 recorded sessions so far. And looking at each length of the video, we only last anywhere from 45 to an hour. So we've done pretty good making sure that we don't last too long. That being said, for the logistics on the event, the 2-day events coming up, if you haven't already noticed, on the homepage of the TEDNA website, there's a save the date flyer right below the latest post. But if you click on that, or if you go to upcoming events and hover above conferences and click on conferences, you can get to the same page. I haven't posted the January 20th draft agenda just yet. The draft is ready. I just haven't put it on the website. But the 19th draft agenda is up. You can click on where it says click here. You can pull up the draft copy of the 19th. A few things have moved around a little bit on the 19th, which are moving to the 20th. But that's just purely content and discussion, and the essence of the meetings themselves are pretty much staying the same. But the 19th is on the website, and later this afternoon I will make sure to go ahead and put up the 20th for that. So once again, you can click on TEDNA/conferences, TEDNA.org/conferences to RSVP. If you have not RSVP'd already, I strongly encourage you to do so. It just helps us with headcount for lunch. Your RSVP form, once again, is on the TEDNA.org/conferences page. And I tried to make it as straightforward as possible, while at the same time explaining in some brevity the difference between the January 19th and January 20th. And that explanation is on the RSVP itself. The difference is that January 19th is more of a nuts and bolts kind of day. As you can see, you'll read in the RSVP, it's pretty much a day solely dedicated to the inner workings of TEDNA NYCP 2015. This is where we'll have a much more comprehensive conversation around Schedule C, what that looks like in terms of implementation, how each of our local sites are doing. And January 20th day is much broader. It concerns strategy. It concerns a lot of successes and challenge conversations, a lot of things that kind of overarch most of the program. And this is an opportunity that we as a program wanted to take to also invite any and all other NYCP grantees who are located in Oklahoma. So just to name a few off the top of my head, I know we wanted to make an open invite to the Osage Interlocal Cooperative. We wanted to invite the American Indian Resource Center. We also want to invite Citizen Potawatomi Nation. And I believe the Chickasaw Nation is a new NYCP grantee, and they will also be in attendance on the 20th for us as well. And looking at kind of the audience that we're bringing in for the 20th, just the audience itself will open to a much bigger conversation, a much more conceptual conversation, which will be going over a list of 4 main concepts for that day. And let me pull up that agenda just so we can have a recording of it. Looking at it, we'll start, and the times may change a little bit, but we're looking at 10 o'clock start in the morning for a welcome from Quentin and myself at 10:20. Going around the rooms for some 1 to 3 minute introductions, a little break, and then the 4 main concepts we'll be covering on the 20th would be the 4 presentations, one from the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. And these are all tentative, and they haven't been fully scheduled just yet. A few of them have, but I want to make sure we have everyone scheduled before I move tentative to final in the final copy. the Oklahoma Department of Career and Technology Education with Miss Becky Foster. We'll have a working lunch where we go over some videos and a presentation by, actually, we're moving Dr. Michael Pavel earlier before the 4 presentations, but the third presentation would be our partnership with ACT. Hopefully have in attendance with us Mr. Kevin Houchin. And the fourth concept presentation would be our partnership with the College Board, representing Melanie Frank. And we'll kind of leave it for open commentary. I'm sure the contents will generate a lot of commentary itself, and then we'll go ahead and close for some thoughts and adjourn. We adjourn at 3 that day. And in the final copies of each of these agendas, we'll also include some logistic descriptions in terms of online viewing. We intend to go ahead and but we'll put this session also on recording for dissemination through the TEDNA website, but then also to have it also for our archive as well. And looking at that and what that means for us. And then the hotel and booking, we're currently looking at a hotel. Fairfield Inn. It's off of Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City. Last year, a year ago, close to today, we stayed at the Aloft Hotels, the Aloft Hotel in downtown Oklahoma City. Unfortunately, there's not enough room there, so we're not staying there. We're looking at the Fairfield. And Chloe and I, we're going to work on getting the group rate together and getting those. So you because we haven't made any reservations so yet, you can still put in your name and we'll go ahead and take care of your reservations for you. As far as your travel is concerned, we do intend to cover at least 2 people for travel to our partnership meeting. One for the one reserved for the TED director, and one reserved for a legislative representative. Is that correct, Quentin? Is that what we were intending? A legislative?
Yes. Yes, and of course the specialists also.
Correct. So, yeah. And if you're a specialist or a contractor and you're a core team member, you're already we're already expecting you to go there. So we do want to at least further share some final logistics and verbiage to let you know and notify you that your expenses will be covered. So we'll be sending those out pretty soon too. It's pretty much going to be similar format to what we did a year ago, but hopefully a lot more prepared in terms of what the day's order will look like. For mileage reimbursements, if you are driving into the facilities, the location is 309 Northwest 13th Street, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73103. And we also have, if you, assuming you're submitting a mileage reimbursement, we'll accept one of 2 ways. One way, if the tribe would like to invoice us for your mileage reimbursement, that's totally acceptable. However, if you would like to receive a mileage reimbursement directly from TEDNA, we will also allow that. You just need to use the TEDNA 1040E mileage reimbursement form, which is found once again on the TEDNA website. You'll just go to tedna.org/forms, click on that, and it will take you to the only form we have on there right now is the 1040E. If you click here, it'll open. This is your self-reported mileage and travel expenditure form. You just fill out your, of course, information and your mileage ledger. You can electronically fill this out, and as you fill out miles, it'll go ahead and total those for you. It'll go ahead and calculate them by the standard mileage rate, the IRS approved 4 cents a mile. and it'll also calculate your allowable reimbursement. Drag that down, and you can add any other expenses that you've incurred for per diem, so on and so forth, and it'll also add that in as well. For your total costs, you just need to sign off, and we'll get that in the query for an approval. So other than that, that's the mileage reimbursement process. Pretty quick and simple. Hopefully the electronic form will be valuable enough to use if you do choose to go down that route. That's all I have for right now. I'm sure there's questions, so opening up to questions. Item 3C, questions on logistics.
Julian, this is Michael. I was on and off, and I just wanted to kind of verify transportation to and from the airport. Can you confirm that again?
I can, yes. We will provide transport to and from the airport. If not myself, then we'll probably get Chloe or Sydney
I thought so.
to help be a driver for us.
Thanks for repeating that information. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. No problem at all. And I haven't written it out just yet, but when you are working on your flight into Oklahoma City, if you can let me know and just send me a copy of your flight receipt and itinerary. That way I know what time you're coming into Oklahoma City, so we can coordinate what time to pick you up. We are reserving the night of the 18th to prepare. So if you want to, you can fly in on the 18th to stay on the night of the 18th, and then you'll also stay on the night of the 19th. And we do not intend to reserve anything on the night of the 20th. So just let us know what time your flight leaves on the 20th, so we can get you out to the hotel in a timely manner. Because it is Friday, I do want to make sure that we're mindful of traffic and so on and so forth. In the finalization of logistics, we'll look at traffic as well as weather. If there is inclement weather, I hope there's not, but we'll also look at that as well and make sure we're mindful of those things. But yeah, we'll send out details on those. So I appreciate that question, Michael. Any other questions?
Julian, this is Quentin. I just thought of a question or comment. I think we need to make sure there's one specific number, probably yours, to have everybody contact in case there's an emergency or something that doesn't come up. But of course, the weather situation. If you're coming to Oklahoma, there's no telling, what the weather may be, how it might change and what have you. So you might keep that in mind as you move forward.
Right. Okay. All right. Oh, I see your Angela Nunn. I saw the comment on the chat box. Bernadette Anderson equals Angela Nunn. Good morning. Thank you. So that's great. I'm glad you brought that up, Quentin. So the emergency number, I do not have voicemail on my personal number, but there is voicemail on my NYCP business line. It's a mobile cell phone. You can text message, leave me a message, or get a hold of me. I'll make sure to have that by my side on the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th at all times. So that phone number is 405 229 3165. Once again, that's 405 229 3165. Any other questions for logistics? Okay. Hearing none, the next invoice deadline we have set January 10th is internal deadline that we've set for ourselves. If any tribal partners still need to send us invoices, please do so. I've had a few that have wanting to. If you ever want to inquire on a check clearance to make sure if the checks we've sent you have been cleared, let us know. We can also work on that as well. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and open up to Section 4, core member topics and feedback. And we'll recognize in that order. Before we get started with this, I'd like to open the floor up to Dr. Gloria Sly. Dr. Sly?
Yes, good morning. I'm so excited to begin in the new year. So happy new year to everyone. I hope everything continues well for you throughout this year. I know that Julian, I want to commend him and Quentin and the staff there on really getting our program off to a good start. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to meet personally with everybody this year. I plan on being there all day, the 19th and 20th. I was trying to remember why I didn't make it last year, and I'm thinking, oh, I was in Hawaii. So sorry. But so anyway, I'm committing to this. I'm just really excited about the things that the potential that this project has. So thank you for all the information, Julian, keeping me in the loop as far as communication. I appreciate that. And so just looking forward to the day. Very good.
Thank you, Dr. Sly. Appreciate that. Going down the list are TEDs, Absentee Shawnee Tribe. Okay. Cheyenne Arapaho Tribes. Northern Cheyenne Tribe.
Yeah, this is Norma. Let me see. I've got me on the phone. Have I got a feedback here? What if I should get off the phone?
I can hear a little bit of feedback.
Okay. We finally.
Uh-oh, I think I lost her. I think Norma lost connection or maybe had dropped out of the call unintentionally. As soon as she joins back, we'll go ahead and open it back up to her. Muskogee Creek Nation. All right. Dr. Michael Pable.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Julian, and Happy New Year to everyone as well. The external evaluation, again, has its central goal of developing a first-class database to better monitor what the project is and to what extent it's achieving its goals and objectives. I'm looking forward to continuing an ongoing conversation with everyone, including Steve Kapler of SK Consulting, and who's going to assist in the development of a longitudinal database. I also have to apologize to Chloe because I co-opted Chloe into this by sending her an email saying that she was going to be valuable to this data effort. That email was really directed to Sydney. There in the central office, though, I believe that Julian and Sydney and Chloe can play an essential role in both data collection, data management, and even data analysis and data reporting. It impresses me as a really well-functioning team serving each of the sites. So I'm looking forward to continuing that conversation in person on the 20th in Oklahoma City. At this point, I'd like to keep comments brief and look forward to updating people regularly as we progress on this journey of developing a first-class database. Thank you, Julian.
Thank you.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
Yeah, I had to use this phone instead of can't talk through the computer.
Oh, I see.
But anyway, we did have 4 applicants for the ed position, and it looks like we only have 1 person that might qualify for it. So I've asked Jace to put her on to hire her, and I need his approval to do that rather than going through the interview process. So hopefully we'll have someone going on the 19th and the 20th.
Okay.
And then also Quentin and Julian and Shane and I had a discussion about sending a legislative person, and so we do have one, and his name is Waylon Rogers, and he will be attending the 19th and the 20th also. So hopefully we'll get our ed specialists going soon.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And I have a question. I just got a call from Michaela, and who does the travel for Northern Cheyenne Tribal Schools, but she's got me flying out on the 21st. Is that going to be okay?
On the 21st?
Right, the 20th, and then leaving on the 21st.
Well, leaving on the 21st. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm sure we could.
Oh, okay. All right. Didn't know for sure.
For some reason, I was
okay.
You said you were arriving. Like, I assume you said you were.
No, I was leaving on, I said, on the 21st.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess that's it. So I'll just keep you informed as to what happens with our ed specialist.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Next, Dr. D. Tadlock with ReadWrite and/or proxy, Mr. Tom Brown. Okay. Bernadette Anderson and Mark Williams, ADI.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year to everyone. Mark this morning is traveling, and so he is unable to join the call. But I did speak with him this morning, and he wanted you to know that he'll be catching up with the video and reviewing the other documents that you send. I guess the only addition that I would add to the conversation today would be that hopefully, Julian, you guys have had time to look at some of the files I've sent, and we can find a time within the next week to kind of go through them and get some of your feedback so that we can finalize those documents so that you can share them. The unit plan.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, I was going to mention, I'm trying to pull up my calendar real quick on this side here. We did some initial reviewing with some of the specialists, and most of what governed that conversation was trying to refresh ourselves to the unit plan. Because I was in and out so much, I pretty much failed at trying to read the plan. That day, I should have just stayed there the entire time, but as you know, I had to run I had to do a lot of office stuff. But I'm really excited on how much the plan has already contributed in terms of like our confidence to Schedule C. During our latest discussion last Tuesday or Thursday, I believe. No, actually last Thursday and Friday, we did go over some of the unit plan in brevity, though, not in detail. But we will be doing that again this Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I mean, not this Friday, this Thursday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And I'm going to go ahead and invite you to that as well. And if you would love, if you have time, if you'd like to just make yourself available for a few minutes or the whole meeting, you're more than welcome to join us. But what we're doing is we're looking at that unit plan, going over how we're going to make that fit with each of our sites, while at the same time maintaining that unity in terms of trying to have implementation that's conscious of the local needs and so on and so forth. So um, uh, that's a date for you. I hope your vacation was well. I know the last time we spoke, um, you had to quickly send that off and go to vacation. So I hope that was well for you. And give Mark my best. So thank you.
And Julia, excuse me, will you send me a call-in number for that tomorrow, right?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, let me. Yeah, I'll send that to you. It'll be a GoToMeeting invite.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. Mr. Kevin Houchin and/or Steve Kapler, ACT. Excuse me, SK Consulting. Okay. Jerome Tosi, Native Innovations. All right. Mr. Arash Hoda, Khan Academy Video Series.
Can I provide an update if he's not available, Julian?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
The unveiling of these demonstration videos is scheduled for a gathering coming up on the 19th and the 20th. Is specifically going to be on the agenda. Chloe and Sydney have been working in concert with Julian and reviewing these videos and offering their input. What this has evolved from is simply producing some demonstration videos about two young people and their experience with Khan Academy, to increasing the capacity of the TEDNA staff, TEDNA NYCP staff and team, to be able to take advantage of the YouTube environment, thus demonstrating their capacity to embrace new skills and abilities to extend the work that's currently taking place. I believe that the demonstration videos in themselves is just simply a beginning point at which to expand, and that expansion couldn't possibly take place without the abilities of Julian and Chloe and Sydney to take advantage of technology and technical resources like YouTube. It's an inspiring, evolving event that transpired as a result of these demonstration videos. Thank you, Julian.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm excited to do some of the work with Arash and do some of that unveiling. Arash has been dedicated from day zero to now, to making this happen for us, and looking forward to all of that all that unveiling. So next, Matthew Campbell, Native American Rights Fund.
Hey, Julian, I don't really have any updates except that I missed the last meeting or two, and so I apologize for that. And so I must have missed the date for the January meetings, and I don't know that anyone from RARF is available to attend in person, unfortunately. But looking at the agenda, it didn't look like we were slated to be on the agenda, so that made me a little less nervous. But we can probably be available over the computer if need be. Otherwise, we'll look forward to planning. It seemed like last year we also had some meetings in the summer around the Sovereignty Symposium, and certainly plan to attend those as well.
Sure. No, I appreciate that, and yeah, I really didn't slate NARF to make a presentation on either day, although attendance is more than welcome. Um, I might try to have, I don't know if you'd be available, or Melody would be available to do maybe just a 5-minute, the value of education codes. Just that history. I know it'll just be like reciting, something off the back of your hand easily. Um, but we might have that on the night. Well, more the 20th than the 19th, because the 19th, we've all been including so much already. The 20th possibly, but nothing's for sure. But I definitely want to at least give you some forewarning instead of asking of you a few days prior. So I'll work on that and see what that looks like. If either of you might be able to make yourselves available by the computer, that would be nice. But I'll email you. I'll email you about that.
Yeah, I maybe have to travel to a tribe in California, but I'll touch base with Melody. It sounded like she probably would be available on computer, and if she's not, I can probably try and make myself available even though I'm traveling as well. 5 minutes doesn't sound too burdensome, so
yeah,
should be able to do it.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you. Anything else?
That was it.
Okay. Matthew Higdon, Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. I believe he did email me earlier, not particular to the update, but he was inquiring on that agenda, which I sent. So, all right. 4J, guests present but not listed. All right, closing section 4, moving on to final thoughts. Mr. Romanos, any closing thoughts for us?
We need to firm up who's going to be on the GoToMeeting format. I don't know, we had confirmations on Friday from College Board and ACT or Career Tech, so you might make sure we got that settled.
Sounds good. All right. Okay, well, that being said, our next standing core meeting will be January 18th, which by the way things work, it's the day before the 19th. I'm assuming most of the 18th will be a travel day for especially those who have to fly in. But also the 18th, you might be spending some time preparing to get ready for things that you'll be missing on the 19th and the 20th itself. The 18th will just be kind of like I'm assuming a friends for most everybody. So we'll have a partial meeting. I still want to have the standing core meeting, but I don't intend to last more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes maximum, just because I know most parties are working on getting and planning for attending the 19th and 20th. So I'd at least like to make that day dedicated to, once again, any emergency questions, last minute thoughts, or things concerning logistics and or other emergencies pertaining to the local sites. So that being said, the next standing core meeting, partial meeting, would be January 18th, 2017. I've been doing good so far. I've been putting 2017, except one instance I put 2016 on something. But Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for joining us, and that'll be it.
Happy New Year, Julian. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.